Action. What's good? Another uncut entry. I just came back from the gym. Come on. This week what did I do? Went to the gym 3 times. Went to boxing 2 times. So Monday I went boxing. Thursday I went boxing, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday I went to the gym. Yeah, man, gotta grind. Can't be building pioneers of greatness and then not have the fucking physique and discipline. You know, it's funny because back then, a year ago, my sister was like, "Cause man, I'm telling you, I can go a year without exercising, or even just leaving the house." And then my sister would always joke like, "You can't be building pioneers of greatness and you're not like exercising it or leaving the house or whatnot." So you know what? We out here putting in that work. Oh yeah, and protein, man. Gotta hit the protein. But yeah, honestly, this is what I can do. Really, I'm at that phase where I get to sort of build the lifestyle that I actually want. And honestly, the lifestyle I want is being able to train, go to boxing, go to the gym, and having time for that, and then also having time to build on pioneers of greatness, improve on my skill set, whether it be sewing or other areas of building a brand, building a business. And honestly, man, like i've been I've been having this dilemma, right? So I'm still sending out applications, but then the more I think of it, the more I'm like, if I do end up going corporate, then that's my time capped. 9 to 5, 9 to 6. Boxing sessions are usually from 6 to 8 p.m. So then that's out the window. The gym, that's fine. That's like, even if it's 9 to 5, I can go to the gym either before work or after work. But it's just that the boxing part, it'll be harder to attend. And now I'm sort of weighing that, as a thing. Like, do I want to sacrifice the lifestyle that I'm currently building now, to swap it for, stability, financially being stable and whatnot? What that comes with, having a 9 to 5. Because, obviously, I'm still at my bar job, my part-time bar job. And it, and I've always said I don't need much. I don't need much to be able to build and to be able to get by. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go out much. So my spendings are super minimal. So I don't even need much. Like, I chat GPT like the sort of amount that I would need, like minimum. It's about 1.2, 1.3 per month in order to keep things moving. But obviously, I'm approaching my 30s, and then also thinking of getting married, having kids, and all of that stuff, and that requires money. And 1.2 or 1.3k is not going to cut it. The part-time bar job I'm doing now is not going to cut it. And this week I was with my mate, good mates, and They're both from uni. They actually got married a year ago, or actually this year. But yeah, no. One is doing something similar to me, but he has a full time job, and it's not what do you call it? It's not as time time intensive, so he's able to build his own brand business alongside working a 9 to 5, which is great. And then the wife, which is so dope, she she actually has a very similar background to me. We all went to architecture school, and she also knew that she wasn't going to be an architect, so she didn't continue her architecture. So she just decided to do an MBA, and that's like a 2 year thing. And then basically that route just allowed her to land like a 6 figure role. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But then obviously with that sort of direction is very time intensive, you know? You're probably doing minimum 80 hours a week. And then that's something like I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I need like a middle ground. And she's actually also helping me, do up my CV so I can land like a high paying role. Because my dilemma right now is, do I just grind it out the gutter, have a part time job, go all in with building Pioneers of Greatness and building my personal brand and pushing out content. I don't like saying content, man. Content is such a like a throwaway word that makes the things that I create just like, it doesn't make it sound like it's art. And I see the things why the things I do, the things I post, the things I share, I see as art. So I never really call it content. But for the sake of, context, we'll say content. And yeah, man, that's my dilemma. Do I go all in, or do I be half and half? Be a sheep, be a wolf in sheep's clothing? Because the roles that I'm targeting now is sort of like brand strategist, creative strategist, someone who's in charge of building like the narrative, the branding, or the creative strategy for companies, for projects, blah blah blah. And that's what I've been doing, the past 4 years, ever since I pivoted from architecture. Ever since I started building my personal brand, ever since I started Galanachi, ever since I started my personal projects like G the Fighter and my creative studio, Gverse, those are all branding, they all, if I laid them out in front of you, each of them look different, and they all have a different, target, a different visual, a different purpose. And I enjoy doing that, being able to come up with, branding, visuals, sort of tone of voice, blah, 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 and all of that shit. That's why I was like, if I were to go and work in corporate, it has to be something that is not design related. Like, I don't want to be designing. I'm done with designing. I've done designing in fashion for a startup, and I've also did somewhat designing within the architecture industry as well for a year. And and the way I view it is, designers are always like overworked and underpaid, and I don't want that. If I'm really going to be pushing for to land a corporate role, because I haven't been in a corporate role since 2020. But then I'm the type of person where I don't need to be told what to do in order to do what I need to do. I will go and find out what I need to do. That's why I've survived 5 years, building these projects, building these brands, and continuing to do so. But yeah, I just wanted to leverage another part of my skill set, which is, the strategic thinking, branding, the creative, and not being the person that actually designs. That's because for me, that's doing that in a corporate space, that's exhausting, man. So I'd rather use like this other skill set that I have. And it's actually better that I do have this design background, because working with designers, creatives, and whatnot, then I would be able to communicate my ideas efficiently, because I know their language, and I know the hard work that goes into, creating certain things and whatnot. So I'll be able to empathize and whatnot. But yeah, it's just that, man. And these type of roles usually are within, the 40K to 50K plus bracket, as like a starting. And I'm also, weighing, because a good mate of mine, she'll be moving to Dubai next year along with my mate. And obviously in Dubai it's tax free, and also the pay is a lot higher. Of course the living standards are higher, but then you keep your money. So what you earn, you keep. And then they put this thought in my head where just you could stay there, you could work there for 2 years and just save up, and then come back, and then from there you could build a base. And now at least you have capital to, get things really moving. But then obviously there's trade-offs to that. We go off to Dubai, and maybe Pioneers of Greatness slows down the way I'm like, doing these things, building, sewing, documenting. And then obviously the lifestyle that I'm slowly building right now, does it transition? I don't know. I won't know until I, go and do it, go and try it out. So I think as much as I, would just grind it out from the dirt, I'm tired of being like a broke artist. Like, fuck all of that shit, man. I want to have some capital to move around and not be, that starving artist, the typical starving artist. Because when I actually look at my resume, I'm like, yo, I actually have the experiences. Like, my experiences are wide, and it fits the role that I'm trying to aim for. The experiences might not have been, in corporate space, but man, let's be honest. At the end of the day, whoever's in those roles, they're just people, regular people, That goes for most jobs, Like, most jobs can be done by people, They just need to have that chance to, land the role and do it. But yeah, I'll see. I did say in the beginning of the year that, somewhere in the middle of the year, that I could be anything. I could I could be anything by the end of the year, in terms of like landing a 9 to 5 role. I literally started off the year sending application to become like a BDR, a business development representative. So it's more of a salesy role. Had a couple interviews, didn't really go through, and then I started to pivot slightly and go into, what did I go into? Applied to like more fashion roles. Had a couple of interviews, nothing really landed. And then now, this is, third time the charm, if that's how you say it. Me polishing up my resume with the help of my good mate, who has an insane resume that actually helped her land a well-paying job in Dubai. So we'll see where that goes. Because sometimes the way I approach it, I overthink it, man. Like, I create problems that aren't even problems right now. Like, I'm like, oh no, how am I gonna balance going to the gym, going to boxing, when I'm working my 9 to 5, when I'm not even there yet. So I need to take things day by day, as I should, and I'm not worried too much. Because man, when you're towards the age of approaching your 30s, yeah, you do start to feel like, yo, I need to hurry up a little bit with these things. Like, if you're not fully established and like stable yet, you do feel like, oh, I need to hurry up a bit, man. Like, I'm literally coming to that age where I need to be stable, starting a family, blah blah blah, getting my shit together. So you start to feel that pressure. I'm feeling it, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, with that out the way, this week I continued building and improving and making adjustments on the Pioneers of Greatness denim jacket. So I've started creating the third prototype. Hopefully this is the final prototype that I make, which will have all the corrections that I've noted. And once I've fully done that, then I can greenlight the design, and that just means that I'm ready to that product is ready to be for made to order, and then I could move to the next product and start making the adjustments, so that by early 2026 I'll have everything ready and just drop and launch Pioneers of Greatness properly. So yeah, let's have a little look at what we have so far. So if I can find a place to hook this. So this is the second prototype of the POG denim jacket. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's red markings all over it, just to show where the corrections need to be made. So over here on the sides, I need to take it in by 2.5 centimeters, both sides, front and back. I also need to then adjust the sleeve opening, and then also the sleeve, because of me taking 2.5 centimeter from the sides, it affects the sleeve opening. And then the color, I think it's slightly a little too, I don't like the direction where it's pointing. It's too downwards, so I might adjust it so that it's more outwards by a tad. And then also like construction details, there's somewhere it's like inverted, and I need them to be facing the same way for consistency's sake. And obviously the back, the back was too narrow, so then I widened it, like the back yoke arch, because the whole idea is to have the POG slogan to fit beneath it, because then I'll be embroidering it, and that's just like the original sample that I created. That was the thing that I liked, like the detail that I liked the most about it, and I wanted to have the curvature of the back yoke there, but obviously back then 2 years ago I wasn't able to do that, so I just did it on a denim jacket, like a Levi denim jacket. But now, fast forward 2 years, we can sew and all of that good shit. So this is the third prototype of the denim jacket, POG denim jacket. I've made the changes of trimming 2.5 centimeters on the sides, both sides, front panel and back panel, and made the arch wider so that it accommodates the POG slogan arch. And now I can screen print it. So I actually screen printed again, and I haven't screen printed in a while, maybe a good solid year or even more. So yeah, it's good to get back to that. But to be fair, it's just a guideline, because the whole idea is to screen print it, and then I would hand embroider over it to get like the embroidered, like a 3D embroidered effect, like so on the original sample that I created 2 years ago. See, like you don't see this type of shit. I mean, you get puff and like puff screen prints, or you have chain stitch embroidery, all of that. But those are fairly flat, and they're very fine in terms of the thread that you use. And this, I like the way it looks, because you can really see the craftsmanship. Like there's imperfections there. Like from far it looks great, but if you really look, you can see like, yeah, this is handmade. Like blood, sweat, and tears type of shit. And that's sort of the things I want to carry within the piece, the pieces that I create. Because obviously, pioneers of greatness, man. The whole idea is you reaching your potential. It's the brand is about gathering or building a community of people that are, you know, working towards greatness, their own definition of greatness. So yeah, that's that. And the great thing about pattern making is that this can then be used. I could tweak this, and it can become another product. And what I'm planning to do is, I have another sample here. It's a leather biker jacket, and I love it, man. I love it. But obviously, for this one, I painted over it. I'm not really a big fan of painting over it. I mean, it's cool at first, but I wish I just like never painted over it, and then I wish I didn't add the K2G emblem at the back. But yeah, the way I realized they're actually very similar in construction. They have the front pocket and whatnot. Sorry, yeah, the front pocket flaps. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening there? Why does it say just 4 minutes? Huh, don't know. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, no. So this is like it with no sleeve. Sleeves is another product. But obviously I need to tweak it slightly so that it accommodates, or it has the features that I liked about on this leather jacket, biker jacket. But yeah, I'm excited because honestly, there's a bunch of samples here that I did on secondhand clothing, secondhand garments that I have yet to, take the pattern and then make my own. And the POG denim jacket is just the first one of the first ones. So I have a lot of work to do, but obviously when I drop, I will curate a small capsule collection, so it won't have everything. So that would be for later on down the line. But yeah, we're making progress. Actually, it's quite quick the way I'm picking up with this shit. Especially when I mentioned that last maybe 2 weeks ago, or even 3. It took me, oh no, not 3, sorry, a month and a bit ago. It took me like a week to do the first prototype of the POG denim jacket. But now I'm just like, I could bust it out in one day. Yeah, actually, let me wear this so you lot can see it. But basically, right now, my only issue is since that I took some material from the sides, it obviously made the sleeve opening smaller, so I would need to tweak it on the prototype and like make the opening larger. But overall, I love it, man. It is fucking dope. And that's why it reminded me, this reminds me of that sleeveless leather biker jacket there. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use this pattern and tweak it to have another product. But yeah. Oh, and you can see the POG slogan there. Yeah, man. It's crazy because I actually dreamed of this type of shit. Being able to sew my own shit. And honestly, this is what I want to be doing. That's why I need to speed things up a little bit, because the quicker I can get product out there, then I can start bringing in revenue. And you never know, I probably don't need to apply to a corporate job if I can get this moving, and get a good amount of people copying the pieces, supporting the brand, and just creating a momentum. But yeah, man, this is the reality of it. There's a lot to juggle. There's a lot of shit in my mind. I barely get any sleep, man. Like my mind is just buzzing with problems I need to solve. But obviously, I can only solve one problem at a time. So I just need to chill out because, man, I need to sleep. I barely get 8 hours sleep. Probably get like max 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours. But yeah, man, shit is hard out here, but I chose this path. So I'm gonna stick around long enough to see the results, because I deserve to see the results. But yeah, man, that's it from me. I'm out. Peace.